Any internet search will tell you the multitudes of ways to eat a healthy and sustainable diet. Eat vegan, eat grass-fed, eat organic. These sometimes conflicting narratives are difficult to interpret and often come down to differences in the definition of sustainability and health. A topic that is particularly disputed is what protein sources should we be eating and how should they be produced? The answer to these questions, of course, have an ethical dimension to them, but also come down to differences in interpretations of sustainability and health. One aspect that is commonly left out of narratives of sustainable diets is biodiversity loss. Currently, 1 million plant and animal species are threatened with extinction. This not only is a great tragedy for the species being lost, but also has ramifications for future and present food security, as we rely heavily on biodiversity for things like soil fertility and pollination. So this begs the question, how do we produce nutritious food for everyone, and how do we do this while respecting biodiversity? These two questions are the central elements of my PhD. When we talk about sustainable diets, we often talk of something called the protein transition. The protein transition is in fact not one thing, but many different things depending on context. Broadly speaking, in high-income countries, the protein transition refers more to the disproportionate environmental and health burden caused by the consumption of animal products, and talks about the shift towards a more plant-based diet. While in low and middle income countries, it refers more to food security. These differences and more mean that no one solution will fit. And in fact, the protein transition will need to consist of many small transitions, depending on context. So what will these transitions look like, and how will that look like practically speaking? My research will focus on a small piece of these questions, looking at the role of novel foods and production systems in the protein transition, how these relate to local contexts, and what the health and environmental burdens will be, with an emphasis on biodiversity loss, which is a personal passion of mine. Many novel foods and production systems have been proposed to mitigate some of the harms caused by our food system, each with their own unique profile of benefits and drawbacks. For example, a food may be very high in protein, but low in micronutrients, or it may have very high water demands, but have low biodiversity loss. Part of what my research aims to do is look at these profiles, creating a suite of options for local communities to choose from. The world does not need to produce more protein. We need to be able to share what we have without exhausting the finite resources of the planet. This, however, will require complex shifts in consumption and production. Novel foods offer an opportunity to expand the suite of options for local communities in these transitions.